What's up, gang? How you guys doing? This is Lieutenant Sal Blue, and I'm here today again, right? And I'm gonna tell you what I'm going to do today. Yesterday, I'm just trying different software and stuff like that for my video podcast on YouTube, and the file that I used was corrupt. So yesterday's podcast did not come through, and so I'm not going to redo the Spotify podcast version of it, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the video version of the podcast. And hopefully you guys get something valuable out of this today. I'm sure you will, because I know I got a lot of comments on Spotify and Google Podcasts about um, a lot of people not understanding the full concept of what I was talking about yesterday. And I mean, afterwards they had an understanding, but prior to that, not a lot of people talked about the process of what we went through. And what I'm talking about, guys, is work, right? And there are many ways that people define work. And a long time ago, right, as I drink my coffee, guys, a long time ago, when I was working for a small carpet company, an entrepreneur guy who had created this carpet business from scratch, and he wanted me to step in and do a lot of the management stuff, right? And so prior to that, I was just a worker installer in the business, right? Just laying carpet, doing contracts, and I really had no clue or how idea what he did to build that business, what he did to create what he created, how he had to go out there and find contracts, which in to this day, right now, it will be, running Facebook ads or something like that, or Google ads, or doing advertisements online to this day. But no, he had to go out there and drive around and meet people and talk to people and be good with people and have relationships with people. So he had to show up in neighborhoods, talk to people about the jobs, right? We would be doing a job in a neighborhood, and I used to think that he was going around and checking on us, right? What he was doing was he was going around and he was building up leads, right? People that they would recommend for us to come out and do installing to get him more business, to do more jobs. And he did this frequently. And we used to go out, and I'm telling you, in a day, me and about four other installers, we would go out and we would do about 7, 8 jobs a day, right? We would start off early in the morning, around 6 o'clock. I'd pick everybody up in the morning at their homes, and we would go over to the retailer and buy the carpet and supplies if we didn't get it the night before. And we will be installing, we would be on a job installing carpet at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And I used to think, we're working so hard and we're putting in all this work, and this guy's just driving around, my boss, right? And I used to say, oh, I could do his job, I could handle this, I'm managing this crew of 4 other guys, installers. I can definitely go around the neighborhood and drum a business, right? So that's me not thinking about the work that my boss was putting in to create what he created, right? That's just me being ignorant, arrogant, and young. This is long before my law enforcement days, guys. So I was fresh out of high school, just home, ready to go to college, right? And so I was about 18 years old, and just thinking that I could get it done, that I was faster, quicker, smarter, and this guy couldn't hold a candle to me. What happened eventually, guys, was as I came home each summer from college and gained more knowledge in business and marketing and all of this other stuff, he told me, he said, hey, listen, I'm getting a little older. I don't want my son working in the business because he is a train wreck, and I would like to start training you to take over and run the day-to-day operations. Boy, oh boy, was that a blow to my ego, right? At this point in time, I was probably about 20 years old, so it's like 2 years later, and I didn't realize the amount of work that it takes not only to drum up business, but to also at the same time understand the books, keep a business afloat, and basically be a one-man band in a business that is making multi-million dollars a year. And this is a carpet business, right? This is a carpet business with secretaries and a bunch of other employees and everything else. And because of my work ethic and because it's kind of like a job where people just come and go, he felt familiar with me. And I'm going to tell you what, I was not ready for the challenge. I was not ready for the challenge because I did not understand the level of work that he actually did. I didn't understand that even though I was picking everybody up at 6 o'clock, he was already in the office, okay, at half an hour before me, maybe 5:30. He was already in the office handling all of the books and setting up all of the schedules for the week, for the month following, right? And long after I dropped everybody off at home and we're hot and sweaty and we think that we did our thing as far as creating a great business for this man by the work that we did, he was still in the office wrapping up all of the work that we brought back to the office and squaring away the books and doing contracts and tons of other things, right? All of this stuff was involved in his every single workday. And I didn't understand the expanse, the large amount of work that this man was doing. And so that is something that I want to talk about, guys. We are so naive when it comes to the amount of work to become successful, right? We think that the images that we see on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that is good enough, right, for us to go in there, get a little interested in something, get our hands just a little bit dirty under the fingernails, and think that because we did that, we earned success. That is not the case. You are not going to earn success by getting a little dirty, right? You're not going to earn success by that. You're not going to earn success by digging in there deep, right, and working for a month, 2 months. Now, it's not going to work that way, guys. Success builds over time, right? And the reason why it builds over time is because initially the work that you do to create success, right? The work that you do to create success, you're not ready for it yet. You haven't built up to that yet. You have to build your work ethic muscle up to be able to do a work at a much higher level. When I think about this, I think about how everybody talks about Kobe Bryant, right? How they were trying to get into the gym before him, you know, before breakfast, long before the game, long before practice, some of the things, right? And no matter how early they got up, he was always there before them. And even though they worked out to their fullest, he made sure that he was always there after they left. And in saying that toward his work ethic, it is something that a lot of people do not understand the championship level that it takes to have a successful life. So, in saying that, guys, let's get into today's podcast, because today's podcast is work, right? And my question for today's podcast is, are you getting upset about the results you did not get from the work you did not do? So think about that for a minute and let it sink in. And think about those two stories that I just told you. I mean, one extensive story about Mr. Mills and his carpet company, and the other one about Kobe Bryant and his work ethic and everybody trying to work harder than him, right? And so think about that and let it sink into you, because a lot of you are out there getting upset about results that other people are getting that you're not getting. And it's all because you're not putting in the work, guys, right? Over the past few months, I have seen thousands of posts on social media, right? And these posts on social media, most of them are most motivational or inspirational, right? Showing some actor, maybe The Rock or somebody, right? Or an athlete, like running, training hard in the gym, full of sweat dripping off their bodies, and they're getting in, right? And then you have the voiceover, right? The voiceover is maybe, like I said, The Rock's voiceover, talking about working hard and putting it in, maybe Zoa or whatever he's talking about, tequila, I don't know. But anyway, and you get them talking about the voiceover of working hard and putting in work and dedication. And this quote pulled from whatever he was talking about, right? Or you get maybe like Eric Thomas, right? Eric Thomas is always motivating the young people to get out there and do the work, put in the work. And so, or my favorite, man, Les Brown. Les Brown, super inspirational. Les Brown, when I hear his voice, I want to get up and go. I realize when I hear Les Brown's voice, I am not doing something. So, those people, they motivate you and they're inspirational. And so, all of those posts on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, wherever they're at, all of those posts, guys, they are not what it takes to get the work done, is what I'm trying to put to you guys, right? Because I understand the intention of the creator of those posts, right? Because these posts are trying to motivate you into action. They're trying to get you going, right? Motivating people into action. I would like to say that sometimes that is what I do, right? When I was a drill instructor at the police academy, I would try to motivate people into action. But motivating people into action is not going to get the job done. That's just the first quarter, guys. It's just the first quarter of the game. Motivation and inspiration are the first quarter of the game. And there's no way, no possible way you can finish a game on motivation, right? It gets your adrenaline up, it gets you excited about what you're doing, and it gets you all pumped up, all right? Where you just, for that moment, you are focusing all your energies on what you have to do. But here's the deal, guys. Success is long. Success is that 26-mile marathon, right? Motivation is only getting you pumped up for the 40-yard dash, guys. Right? So you could take off out the block being the fastest and the best, right? For the first 40 yards. But after that, man, the hounds will walk you down. You will not outwork the hounds who have trained for the long haul, guys. And those guys, they're not getting hyped off of motivation and inspirational videos. No, they understand the work. Right? So let's move on and let's talk about the work, guys. Right? Because being inspired, right? And let me get to my notes real quick, guys. I want to talk to this. But although the majority of people don't move unless motivated or inspired, these two emotions are not key to success. So there you go. And that's the truth, right? Most people, they don't move until they're inspired. They don't move until they're motivated. But hear me out, guys. That is why most people don't have shit in life. Most people don't have what they want. Most people don't achieve the goals that they want. Most people, they're looking for immediate results, right? And things that happen fast in their lives, right? Because, and this is why, and hear my philosophy on this. The reason why people want things to happen fast in their life is because motivation fades, inspiration fades, right? And they know that they don't have enough energy to withstand the storm, the second wave of obstacles that may come your way if you're trying to achieve something great in life, right? If you're trying to do something of significance, right, you'll get that initial bump. But that bump won't get you over the hill. That bump will only get you started, you know? And you got to have the stamina in order to keep pushing that rock up the hill. You have to have the stamina to do that. And that comes from your work ethic. That comes from, not from inspiration, but it comes from your consistency. So when I say that those two emotions are not the key to success, I want to tell you guys this, because this is a fact. The majority of actions that you must take to get results happens long after your motivation and inspiration fades, right? So a lot of people start off great, but once the motivation fades, they drift into the next shiny object of something that's going to get them excited, something that's going to get them moving, something that's going to get them inspired, right? Because this becomes hard, right? And to move this one here is easier. So there they go, right? They go through life moving this rock a little bit this way, moving this rock a little bit that way, and they never ever get up to the top of the mountain. So they go through their entire life becoming mediocre at a lot of things, right? Never mastering anything. Because mastering something comes with work ethic, it comes with consistency, and it comes with modeling the right people, guys. So I'm going to get into this a little bit more, so that you guys can understand, right? Where motivation fades at, right? This is where the average individual begins their path into victimhood, right? And the bad life, right? So victimhood happens when they realize that the next obstacle wave is too big for them to just get excited about and jump over it, right? They can't jump over that obstacle, right? This is one of those obstacles where you're going to have to take your time and you have to climb. But in order to take your time and climb, you have to first take a step back and build a couple of skills, right? So now you have to step back and build a couple of skills. And that's not as exciting as that first surge. So because they don't have those skills, they fall into victimhood. You know, woe is me. This guy got in my way. That guy is getting favoritism. This guy is doing well because of this, because of that, because of the other thing. And they begin the blame game, right? They begin the world is against me, and why did he put these obstacles in my way? And so victimhood always leads you to the bad life. But this is the average person, guys, and I'm trying to stop you guys from being average. I'm trying to get you over that hump so that you could become extraordinary, right? So extraordinary, when motivation fades, that is when you go to work, guys. That is when you go to work, right? And so I'm not trying to get you to be like other people where they start talking about how they got inspired by a story on social media, right? And of a woman like losing 100 pounds. I think I talked about that yesterday on my podcast, right? Had a person talking about a woman losing 100 pounds. And so she shows a story on social media of how she lost 100 pounds, right? I think she did like a 5-minute infomercial story or whatever she used, and her how she got from 250 pounds to 150 pounds, right? And I don't think she gave any exact timelines, but she did show like before and after. And on the bottom of the after picture, it literally said, and a lot of people don't pay attention to this, it literally said 5 years, right? It literally said 5 years. But the people who are not willing to pay in the work, they don't see that. They don't pay attention to that, right? So here you go. They set the goal based on the social media, 60-minute to 5-minute video and the before and after pictures. They set a goal for themselves. They say, hey, my New Year's resolution, I am going to lose 50 pounds, right? By my birthday. They add that into it, by my birthday. And, their birthday just happens to be in May. So they're thinking they can lose maybe 10 pounds a month every month until May. Now, I'm not saying that is impossible, but I'm saying that is highly improbable for that to happen to an individual who is obese or overweight. And the reason being is that a lot of habits have to change. A lot of habits have to change, and a lot of skills have to be developed, right? And most of those skills are mindset skills, right? So when that happens, and the person trying to develop those mindset skills, motivation is out the window. You listen. You when you're trying to learn skills, you can't sit there and be learning skills and be motivated about it each and every day, because it is monotonous. It is monotonous, and it is something you have to do consistently, right? So the thing that these people are missing when it comes to getting the consistency, something that could not be shown in a 5-minute video or a before and after picture. That thing that I'm talking about is resolve, right? Where is your resolve when it comes to achieving your goals? See, resolve is what it takes in order to run the marathon, guys. Resolve is what it takes to get you from one end to the other when you're tired. Resolve is what it takes to get you to scale a business when you've already failed 10 times. Resolve is what it's going to take, right, for you to gain some traction on a business that maybe nobody's even paying attention to you right now, right? When I think of resolve, I think of how Gary Vee says that he did not have anybody even paying attention to his wine library videos for 3 years, but he did it every single day anyway. That's resolve. That is the type of resolve that you need to have to succeed, right? And the resolve that you need to have if you're going to lose weight and for your New Year's resolution. Now, one of the things that this person didn't realize when they set this type of goal is that they have to set up extra time for skill building and getting better at what they're doing and building muscle, and so to gain the momentum to lose the weight. So that whole process of them getting used to the exercise and everything that they're doing before they get good at it, it's probably already going to take a couple of months for them to get good at that, right? And then you have to tack on how slow the body builds muscle and how the whole process of losing fat is concerned. So instead of setting a goal for 5 months, maybe they should set the goal for the year, right? 2021, by 2022 January, this time next year, I will have lost 50 pounds. Up my skills, did whatever, stay consistent, work out every day, so on and so forth, right? And that is how you have to do it. But in order to do that and set a goal that far out, you need resolve. You need resolve, right? Excuse me, guys. Resolve happens when you make up your mind that no matter what, right? No matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter what happens in your life, you're going to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal. That's resolve, right? That's resolve. And that is what you have to have when it comes to achieving what you want. That is what people have when they say that I achieved this goal in 30 days. I achieved this goal in 60 days, 90 days, or whatever. They had such a strong resolve that they were able to put in work that most people could not even imagine the hours of the day being awake that long, let alone the hours that they put in toward what they were trying to achieve, right? So resolve means, and let me tell you guys this, resolve means daily actions. Never thinking about, right, taking the day off, such as a cheat day, right? You know, people are talking about a cheat day or a break from your mission. I need a break from my mission to enjoy a night out with your friends. No. That phone call is not going to get answered. That is not what you're going to do. I am on a mission right now for the next 6 months, right? And I'm going to achieve it no matter what. That's what resolve means, guys. Okay, so that's right. You're not taking a day off if you guys want to have an extraordinary life. You're digging in and you're making it happen, guys. And that is key and that is important if you want to have the life that you want, right? So now, when I see someone who talks about the goal, right? The goal game, as they talk about it. but does not have results that they say that they want, I asked them 2 questions. So just to get to the question of you being upset about not getting results for the work you didn't do, I asked them 2 questions. And hopefully when I ask them these 2 questions, they understand where they stand when it comes to creating the goals that they want to have for their life, right? And the first question is, how long have you been working on this goal? Now, it gives you perspective, right? As I tell people all the time, you need to have a location of where you started when it comes to having a GPS, right? The GPS is your plan, your system, your guide, your mission, whichever way you're going, right? Your destination and where you're going to, but you have to have a starting point, right? And if you can't name how long you've been working on this goal, right, then you definitely don't have a starting point, right? You're just going to give me some arbitrary time, then I'm going to say that you're never going to achieve this goal, right? Because you haven't set a path which includes time, okay, and daily actions to achieve that goal. So the reason why I ask this question is because some goals need to be time appropriate, as I talked about in the fitness goal, right? Some goals need to be time appropriate based on your work habits and your schedule, right? Maybe you are trying to create a business while also working a 40 to 60 hour work week at your job. So you may want to be able to walk away from your job in 6 months, but because of the fact that you are only working at home part-time on the business that you're trying to create from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., right? 7 days a week or whatever. You have to understand that it's going to take a whole lot longer to get the momentum and create what you want so that you can achieve the life that you want and walk away from your business, walk away from your job if that's something that you want to do. So time appropriate. How long have you been working on this goal? Another reason why I ask that is that if they've been working on this goal for a long time, then they truly need to answer this second question, right? And the second question is, who are you consulting with to make sure your daily actions are moving you in the right direction? Who are you consulting with? There is never, ever in my life a goal that I'm taking for myself that I don't first consult with somebody who's already walked the path. I just learned that from experience, man. Get all of the trial and error stuff out of the way and talk to someone who's already achieved the goal that you want to achieve, right? That is why I wrote my book, Top 25 Mistakes, man, to get all the trial and error out of the way, guys, so that you guys can begin to take solid foundational steps to create the life that you want. Who you consult with will determine how soon you reach your goal and how your life will turn out, man. So that is important. That is so, so important. Now, from this point, you can evaluate your actions as either putting in the proper work or not putting in the proper work to get the results that you want. See, once you put everything in perspective, right? How long have you been doing it? Who have you been consulting with? Now you'll have something to say. These were the steps that my coach, mentor, whoever I'm following told me to take. And either I took them and got results, or I did not take those steps and get results. And that is important, and that is key, guys. And I want you guys to understand that moving forward in order to create the life that you want, right? In life, getting results all comes down to taking the right action consistently and putting in the work, man. So listen, that is it for today. I have actually another podcast that I have to do after this one. So I'll be doing that. But guys, listen, make sure you hop on over to Lieutenant Sal Blue and check out my book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. Okay? And also, guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and all the other social medias at lieutenantsalblue.com. And also check out my Facebook group, guys, Top 25 Mistakes. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. This is episode 139. Guys, you guys have a fantastic evening. Lieutenant Sal Blue signing off. Deuces.